Hey guys, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. First of all, I reached 500 subscribers. Woohoo! Yeah, this is really cool to see this community growing and everyone being so supportive and encouraging of the pick-a cards. I'm really glad that I get to read for you guys. It's very, very meaningful to me. So today we have 5 piles in front of us. Today's what is your soulmate like? So we're basically going to be getting some attributes about your soulmate, the good and the bad. So what are the negative traits of your soulmate? If you're curious about the dark side that your soulmate has, this will be the reading for you. So I put all the piles of the cards pre-shuffled before us with the crystals. I'm also going to be drawing, this deck doesn't have a back to it, but this is a deck that I made up with some symbols that I created myself. So it's like my own little makeshift oracle deck, and I'm going to be pulling a card from that deck as well. So yeah, let's get into the reading and start with picking our crystals. So the first crystal we have is this fire agate. I don't know if you can see it. It's like, let's see if I can. Yeah, so it's a fire agate. Then next we have this aquamarine. Next we have this yellow apatite. Next we have this rose quartz. And last we have Chrysoprase. So take all the time you need to pick your crystal. Yeah, there's many different ways to pick your crystal. None of them are really wrong. Whatever way works for you and gets you the most accurate reading is the best way to pick. So I will give you a moment to pick your crystal now. All right, so hopefully you've picked your crystal. Yeah, let's get right into the reading, starting with the fire agate pile. Hey guys, so here's your reading if you picked the fire agate. So let's get started. So basically as I'm reading the cards, I'm kind of reading which ones kind of just jump out to me as far as the positives and negatives of your soulmate, of which ones jump out to me as more of a positive card or a negative card. And then based on that, we go from there to like see the overall spread. So let's start with the animal spirit. So think on your feet. The animals are going to represent like kind of the core personality, or basically their personality that they either view themselves as or how others view them. Kind of who they are without like extras or other things going on in their life. So fox spirit is think on your feet. This person is very quick to take on a task and deal with it effectively. Think on your feet also represents someone who can like deal with stressful situations very easily. So your soulmate's going to be someone who kind of deals with the stressful side of life very easily, very quickly. They can dispatch, they might be a great communicator, like really good with like witty banter, going back and forth with that kind of thing. They're definitely someone who is a little coy. What I'm saying this fox here is like, you know, not coy, coquettish. I think that's the right word. Where they're kind of like playful, like playfully, like flirtatious, you know. There's definitely a fiery nature to this person. They're going to be the type of person who kind of like can ignite your passions in a very playful way. Foxes are a predator animal, but they hunt like small prey. It's not like they're hunting big, they don't look for like big goals or big prey. They kind of just like have fun with their food, I think is the best way to put it. That's how I kind of see a fox. Also, foxes have very intense eyes. So your person might have very intense eyes. Like for example, when you're looking at them, their eyes might stand out kind of like to you apart from the rest of their face. Their eyes can kind of seem like their own entity on your person. Let's see what else. So right here we have this interesting situation with these 3 cards. We have nothing will come of this situation, death, transition to the next life, moving on, and 10 of Wands. What we see here is that your soulmate, here's one of the negatives about them, is that they have a hard time moving on from situations. We definitely see that something might not be working out for them. and they might just stick with it a little bit too long. They might kind of like get stuck in a situation that's not good for them and kind of, I guess the best way to put this in a more positive light is loyalty, but this is almost like the downside of loyalty. It's the side of like, I have so many responsibilities, I just have to kind of keep going and going. This is the kind of thing that can lead to burnout, right? Not knowing when to drop something and move on to the next project. This is definitely a stick to it kind of person. So nothing will come of this situation just means that they can't really tell what's a losing proposition or not. They definitely need someone in their life who can tell them, like, like this is not going to work out. Like this is kind of not something that you want to invest your time into. You want to invest your energy somewhere else. They take on so many projects and so many responsibilities, and it seems like these are other people's responsibilities. But at the same time, they could be their own. They could be responsibilities they give to themselves. What we're seeing here is that with death, transition to the next life, moving on, this is kind of like an aspect of them that would like help them along, right? So transition to the next life, moving on, just shows that it's one of those things where they're going to really benefit from someone telling them like, you know what, is this really working out for you? How is this, you're not really gaining anything from this, so why don't we move on to something else? Or this is concluded, you finished this project. You don't have to stick with it. This is someone else's responsibility. Something along those lines would be good to say to this person. So that's kind of the downside, is they don't move on from situations. They kind of get stuck in the past. Honestly, when you meet them, this is going to be for some of you, they could be in a bad relationship that they're having difficulty getting out of. And you kind of become this alluring, like flirtatious prospect to them. And that could be one of your first encounters, is the fact that they're still in a relationship with someone, and you might have to wait a while until they kind of break up with their person, Yeah, that's definitely coming through for some of you. For others, it won't be the case. It'll be more like projects that they're glomming onto, like situations where they're working too hard at something and they need to kind of like let some easy, relaxing nature into their life. They kind of stick to things for really, how do I put this? They stick to things, I think I explained myself. They stick to things without moving on when something's like a losing proposition. That's the best way to put it. Now, what we see here with the Ace of Cups, this is really good news, especially because in today's day and age, we get so confused with what society thinks and how other people view us and what we want out of something, that we kind of ignore our true feelings. We try to like settle for something we don't want. What here with the Ace of Cups, what we're seeing here is that this person right away is going to ignite kind of like an emotional response in you. That's the best way to put it. They're going to ignite they're going to ignite your heart. So if you're a person who doesn't have like a lot of experience with their heart chakra, you're going to feel your heart chakra expand right when you meet this person. You're going to feel so much love and care and concern for them. They're going to really affect your sympathies right away. And this is actually something they do with a lot of people. So don't be surprised if other people come up to you and feel very like happy in their presence, They do have kind of a flirtatious, playful nature. So I would expect them, even if they are with you, they might have a lot of admirers. They might be very popular with the opposite sex. I'm definitely seeing that coming through. But yeah, this Ace of Cups energy just shows that they're like, that they kind of have this kind of like new beginnings aspect to emotional connections, which is interesting. They can't let go of things, so they might actually have a lot of responsibilities. I am seeing this more with work. They can't let go of things with work, but I'm seeing that they might start up a lot of relationships and not really know how to let them go. Depending on the ethics of this person, they could be in multiple relationships. But what I'm seeing mainly is that this is a friendship-focused thing and basically more of like an acquaintance-focused thing. So basically people that they're interacting with like on the regular, like they kind of inspire, like that person really finds them attractive or warm or endearing, They have a very likable demeanor, right? And the two doves here, the twin doves here, just represents, like doves really represent peace And they're a symbol of like kind of like I imagine when you wave the white flag in a wartime, like the same thing as with doves. You know, doves release during marriage. It's a time where things can be relaxed. There's not like contentious fights or arguments, which is interesting with Think on Your Feet. They provide a lot of banter and back and forth, and they're really quick to like be decisive in those types of environments, those types of kind of stressful environments. They kind of get away pretty easily. But it's interesting, even though they're like that and they can operate well in those environments, the vibe they give off to other people is one of peace and tranquility and warmth. So it's a really beautiful combination of traits for your person. Let's see what else here. We have the Star card. So this person, here's the interesting paradox. They take up a lot of responsibilities and work on a lot of projects, right? But this person has a very clear idea of where they're going in life, right? What their path is. They know what they want in the future and they're not afraid to achieve it, you know? This is the type of person who also helps other people with their career aspirations. I'm definitely seeing this like in the realms of career specifically with the Star card in this reading. This can also represent like that they have a lot of hope that they will achieve their dreams, that their dreams will come to fruition. They might actually have a lot of faith in themselves. Also the Star card, sometimes when I read this card, and this could apply to some of you, with the naked woman, this can represent your person being very like honest and forthright, kind of like being able and easily able to reveal themselves to the world. This is just going to be for some of you. There might be this aspect of the fact that they seem like they are very open with people. You know, there's no hiding, there's no pretense. You know, there's no like secrets. And then with Great Big Love, this is kind of just reiterating the Ace of Cups energy. It's just kind of doubly confirmed right here. Great Big Love just shows that like they really do want the love of a lifetime. And that's the thing, like they might get into a lot of relationships, but they're really looking for that person that is that once in a lifetime love, that like true blue soulmate, right? And they really want that. They believe in that. It's something they really believe in, and that they look forward to. This could be also a sign, especially with the two doves right here. This could be a twin flame thing, that they really want their twin flame, but they really want a person. They really want that other half, that kind of like, I don't know if the correct word is complete them, because I feel like they're very independent. They feel like they don't need anyone to complete them, but they definitely want that person they can just share their life with, right? Great Big Love and this can also apply to family too. This person might be the type of person who really wants to start a family. That's going to be for some of you. But this is a person who really wants that once in a lifetime connection with someone, that deep, abiding love with one other person. So yeah, they start a lot of relationships, and yeah, they're in demand by a lot of people. They're really like, but the thing is, this loyalty thing comes in when they think they found the one, right? Which for them could happen multiple times. They could have multiple relationships where they found the one. It's one of those things where it's like you think you found the one until someone kind of like better comes along. I know that's kind of like weird to say, but this is one of those situations where you're like the final stop on their journey of relationships, right? And you kind of just amplify their positive traits, right? So I kind of would expect like a lot of people to still like them while you're like dating them, but at the same time, they're going to be very, very intensely loyal to you, right? And at the same time, I see you being able to help them move on from these situations. But yeah, that is their negative part, is that they don't really like to move on from things. They're definitely like they kind of get stuck doing things for too long, you know, and that goes for relationships too. If someone maybe is a bad egg in their life, like someone that they, you know, they don't really want to cut them out. They kind of want to give everyone a chance, you know, so expect that kind of like this person to be kind of like all about like loving everyone pretty much. All right, so that was your reading, group number 1 with the fire agate. We're gonna move on now to group number 2. Oh yeah, thank you for letting me read for you. If you like the reading, subscribe below, or like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe. With that said, I am also offering personal readings. The link is in the description box. And moving on to group 2. Hey group 2, this is if you picked the Aquamarine. So let's get into your reading. So we have a few interesting things here. Let's start with the Animal Oracle. Life is speeding up. This person is quick on their feet. This person is energetic, and they feel like they never have enough time. That's what I always get with the Antelope Spirit, and I've had it in other readings. Specifically with this reading, this person might also feel like in their life, they feel like they're running from something, like something's gonna catch them or catch up with them. They might always be trying to escape situations, but they're just basically feel like they don't have enough time to like live their life in the best way to put it. They feel like there's not enough time in the day. That's one quality about them. And this person also might be very like fast. Like they could be a fast runner. I know that's going to be in for some people. They could be a fast runner. Or they could be a fast talker. They could be someone who talks very fast, kind of stumbles over their words, like they can't get them out in quite enough time, which I think is pretty interesting. Because they might be someone who kind of like can talk a blue streak, basically. They can just keep talk. Anyway, so what we have here with a personal issue reaches resolution. Actually, I'm going to get into that later. One other aspect about them, like I said, I was going to put in the negative stuff. So here's fair warning. Here's something negative about them. They don't really complete projects. They get halfway through, like the Three of Wands here. This guy's like, I feel like I always take this card as like he's halfway on his journey, and he needs to go onto the ship and sail off to the next part of his journey. He's looking out, he's taking a pause or a break before he continues on. With this reversed, in this reading particularly, I'm reading this as someone who can't finish a project. Like this person gets halfway through the project, and probably with the timing factor, they just realize they're like, oh, I don't have enough time to finish. If I finish this, I won't be able to start this thing over here. So I'm just gonna have to leave this behind, right? They're very like focused on like, they would actually benefit from some efficiency in their lives. I'm thinking, this person basically, this person needs to be pushed to complete things, and also needs to feel like there's enough time in life, that there's enough time to do everything, because they're always feeling rushed or in a hurry. But yeah, that we're just talking about them right now. And okay, so with this Ace of Swords, this is another negative thing. there's a couple negatives down here in the tarot cards. One of the negative things about them is they're never clear on something. They don't have a clear way of thinking, right? But I'm also seeing right here with the sword pointed down and the crown down here is that they might actually not have the highest self-esteem on the inside. And we see that this beautiful thing right here with personal issue reaches resolution, where they're really looking for someone that they can kind of like collaborate on like personal issues with. Like they want to get really intimate. They want to share details about their life with their partner, and they want that partner to share details of their life with them. Here's the thing though, I'm seeing here that they don't take the first step in sharing those details. So they might seem kind of cold at first, or kind of like superficial. Superficial's calling me just because of the Three of Cups over here. I'm seeing they like to let their hair down, party, have a good time. They're really like relaxed and laid back like that. Like they definitely want to like live it up is the best way to put it. But yeah, really what they're looking for is that kind of intimacy, and really discovering with their other person and with them, all the things that they can work on that are personal issues, personal growth, spiritual concerns, but more on kind of like, I don't know if ethical is the right word. It could be the right word for some, but I'm definitely seeing that this person has like issues, like dark things that kind of haunt them. I'm definitely, for some reason, I'm getting like Scorpio vibes. I know it says full moon in Cancer. I'm getting like Scorpio vibes, like that deep dive into the like inner recesses, the shadow work type thing, and especially with this fire element, ignite passion. Scorpios can, tend to be like very passionate beings. And I'm definitely seeing that with fire element, ignite passion. This person is very stimulating, like sensually stimulating. And I think that's one of the things that's like one of their top things is people sense this about them, is that they're just like very passionate people, right? They have a very robust sense. It's almost as if with these cards next to each other and the blue and the red, I'm definitely seeing when I work with the colors blue and the red, I get like workout vibes, like vibes where with blue and red together, I'm definitely seeing kind of more of like a fit person, like someone who's into fitness or someone who's very motivated to get things done. This could be a very athletic looking person. But yeah, it's interesting. This broken open kind of goes with a personal issue reaches resolution over here too, because broken open is all about the fact that like they want someone to break them open and get to their gooey insides. I guess is the best way to put it, right? They want someone to kind of, oh, sorry, that was my shoe. They want someone to kind of like break down their defenses. I guess is the best way to put it. Break down their defenses and get to like discussing with them all the like nitty gritty of the personal world, right? All the personal things. So if you're the type of person who likes having really intimate discussions with someone, you're kind of like, you're always seeking that intimacy and people come to you for intimacy and advice and healing. Maybe this is a good pile for healers. If someone is looking for a soulmate and you are actually a healer, this would be a great person for you. They're kind of looking for that person in their life. Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. What we see here with the Three of Cups, what I mentioned earlier is the partying thing and the friendship thing is important, that they really value their friends in their life. And they're actually really good at creating groups of people that kind of like collaborate together and work on projects. So that's pretty good. The only thing is they kind of leave these projects, like they abandon these projects like halfway through, and there's kind of like a sense, I think, that this group kind of, this group, there's a sense that this group feels like a little left out. Like when they move on to something new, they're like, oh, where'd the project go? Like I kind of missed that. Like I want to keep doing it, you know? Yeah, they're definitely passionate. Expect a very good romantic life, very passionate life with this person, for sure. They're very robust in the sensual sphere. And with this broken open card, I'm definitely seeing some interesting dynamics where it's kind of like this give and take. Like they want to kind of like break you open sensually, but they want you to break them open psychologically. I guess that's the best way to put it. I mean, so it's interesting that they're on opposite sides, right? Because you have their passion over here and their vulnerability over here. You know, it's like their defenses, what their walls are, and their activity, like how they break down walls over here. So yeah, so if you pick that pile, wow, this was short. This was a short reading compared to the last one. Let me see if I can think of anything else. Let's see. I think that's about it. Let me see with this Ace of Swords. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that this is like where the low self-esteem comes in, is like they might feel like, and with their friends and stuff, I don't know if their friends can really see the real them. That's the thing. Like they're the type of person whose friends kind of know things about them, but they can't really see the real them, you know? What else? Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Yeah. So I guess if you pick the Aquamarine, this is your pile. Sorry it was a short reading compared to the last one, but that's all the information I got for you. So if you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. With that said, we're gonna move on to group 3. Oh yeah, personal readings. If you want to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box below. Moving on to group 3. Hello, group 3? 3, yeah, we're on 3. If you pick the yellow Apatite, this is your reading. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with the animal spirit. So, horse spirit, freedom is yours. This person values their freedom, and the one thing you will notice about them, something that they're like and what people know that they're like, they do not want to be tied down. Like, let me make this point very clear. They want freedom. They don't want to be restricted. They don't want to be held against their will. They don't want anything getting in the way of what they want to do. This person wants freedom. Now, it's very interesting because it says freedom is yours. They work very hard at trying to get this freedom, right? They've worked very hard, and especially from a young age, especially with the Six of Cups right below it, this is something that in their past they have really worked hard at to get right away. They kind of realized the restrictions placed on them when they were young, and they don't want those in their life. They want to be able to do what they want when they want. That's for sure. Let's see what else about this person. So down here, oh yeah, the negative. We're going to get to the negative of every pile. So right here we have this interesting dichotomy between the Hermit and the Three of Pentacles, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, I was reading this reading, and when I was looking at the cards, I was like, where's the negative cards? This person just looks like there's all positives, you know? But I definitely saw that this hermit, and he's like, he peeked out at me, right? And especially with this Three of Pentacles, and I was looking at him, and he's lighting the Three of Pentacles up, and I just noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's the negative thing, right? Sometimes tarot does that, and like, it'll show you certain things. Maybe like this card's not reversed, but it's definitely showing me that this is an issue, or this is the issue, especially with the hermit kind of like shining the guiding light on the group dynamic. This is one of those things where this person, like, I'm seeing them as a great worker, that they work really well with people. But one of the issues is that they also have to spend a lot of time alone, right? Like a lot of their life they spend alone to look for the inner light to help them work better with groups. So this person is almost the type of person that has this kind of aspect where in order to be a part of a group and to work well with the group, they need lots of time alone. So this person might be considered your typical introvert. They need a lot of time alone. Yeah, they need privacy. And that time alone really is what liberates them in the working sphere. It's really what gets a lot of their problems solved in the working environment. We see this working environment, it's just this Pentacles card and this Wealth card. This person is going to be like, they're going to make sure, especially with that freedom is yours, that they're going to have money in their life. They're definitely going to have money. They want to have money because it provides them freedom, and they learn very early on that money helps them get kind of what they want to do when they want to do it. They're going to be someone who has a lot of wealth or who has a lot of good habits with money. They might be someone who really has accumulated a lot, or kind of gives the impression that they've accumulated a lot, which is interesting because right over here with these two cards, right? Coming over to these two cards with the moon, new moon in Virgo. Now, new moon in Virgo, just being a new moon in Virgo, I'm definitely seeing this aspect of a sensual person, but maybe someone who's like kind of picky, right? Like they might be a little bit picky. But what I'm mainly seeing with these two cards, a time to give rather than take, and this Six of Pentacles, this older child giving this younger child the flower pot, I'm definitely seeing that this generous aspect, you know, is something that is really important to them. Like, for example, they may have been like touched by the generosity of someone in their youth, like someone older than them, like slightly older than them, maybe gave them something, was really generous with them. And then they realized that like they want to be a person who is generous with their money, and they want other people in their life who are generous with their money to them, you know? So it's almost like they want people to be on the side of constantly kind of like offering or giving. That's kind of the exchange that they're looking for and that they really admire in this lifetime, and what their kind of their secret desire that they want is that they want someone who kind of, how do I put this? Like rather than you having like sometimes in relationships, like the exchange of information is one person is like, I want to take this from you. And the other person's like, I approve of that. Here it is. And then you have this person saying, I want to take this from you. I approve of that. Here it is. This is the opposite thing. It's almost like they want this person to see their need, what they need, and just give it to them, right? Like, I see your need, I'm just going to give it to you without you even asking, right? It's more of they want a give-give dynamic rather than a take-take dynamic. Both exchanges can work. Usually it's when you have someone who's a giver and someone who's a taker that the exchange is kind of difficult. But if you have two takers, it like works pretty well. If you have two givers, it works pretty well. This person wants a give-give relationship. You know, they want someone to offer before they've asked. And they do the same thing for others. They always offer before they ask. They try to, how do I put this? They try to guess kind of like what the person's needs are, and they try to offer it before that person can even ask for it themselves. Now, this is one of the last cards we're going to get into here, and it's the Power of Purpose. And this is a wheel, like a cog wheel, and this goes back to the working thing, right? And there's an arrow shot right at the bullseye. So this person, I'm definitely seeing this aspect of this person has a directed purpose in their life, and they want other people with direct purpose in their life. They want someone who knows what they want and isn't afraid to go for it, right? they want someone who's not only that, they want someone who knows what they want, isn't afraid to go for it, and is good at getting it. Kind of like they are. They want someone who's kind of like, yeah, they want someone who's kind of like good at getting the things in life that they kind of get too. Now, what I'm seeing, let me look at this card for a second. Yeah, that's like a bullseye. That's a direct bullseye. So they want people who are accurate. They want people who are like, they have a plan, and when they're gonna get it. Like they're on mark, they see the target and they achieve it, right? This is a very like directed group. Definitely if you, if they, metaphorically, they want someone who, when they shoot their shot, hits the center of the target. They want someone who's accurate. Yeah, I don't think this person likes sloppy people or people who are kind of like half-hearted with their goals. They definitely want someone who is like as driven as they are. Yeah. So, yeah, so that was the reading for this pile. Yeah, that was it. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. Link to personal readings is in the description box. And with that said, moving on to group 4. Hey, group 4. This is if you picked the rose quartz right there. So let's get into your reading. We have the... yeah, here we go. So first we have the animal spirit card, which is Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. So this is just something that they themselves, kind of how they view themselves and how they view the world a little bit. First of all, they view life as mysterious and kind of like something that needs to be uncovered is the best way to put it. And they kind of add to the mystery of life themselves. They have a way of kind of imbuing the common with kind of this mysterious air. Just kind of like a bobcat, if you look at this cat, and they're kind of, with cats in general, kind of have this mystery quality about them. The way they move and flow, kind of like they kind of have, how do I put this? They have grace, but strength, and that kind of creates like a mysterious persona with this person. But also they view life like a mystery at the same time. They view everything kind of like unexplainable. Things are just kind of, things fascinate them. It's weird. In one sense, things fascinate them and they know they're unexplainable, but they don't react to them with like enthusiasm. They're not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. That's so crazy. Life is amazing. It's more like, yes, that does exist. But as they're like saying that it does exist, or that something is like a thing in life, they're acknowledging the mystery of it. It's like they're always in a state of acceptance. Where someone who's enthusiastic about the mysteries they uncover is in a state of like curiosity and exuberance. This person's always in the state of like a calm acceptance, kind of like a cat, very calm. Like a bobcat specifically is more like a very like calm nature. Cats can be skittish, but I'm definitely seeing this calm predator vibe where they just kind of like, when something mysterious happens, internally, they definitely view it as this mystery, but on the outside, they're very calm about it. They're very much the type that's like, just accepts these mysterious things as they happen. They could be a very spiritual person, but in the sense also, they're a very like physical person as well, what I'm seeing here. And the reason I don't want to quite say they're spiritual is because we do have the High Priestess in reverse, and this is one of their negative attributes, is that their intuition is not good. Sorry, they don't have like the greatest intuition. Your soulmate's not like the most intuitive person. They kind of don't have a way to decipher things like this in the universe. I think that's why things are so mysterious to them, but they definitely also always accept those things, right? Even if they don't have an intuition to know what those things are ahead of time, or to be able to determine what the best course of action or this or that thing is the best way to go, they definitely have this attribute where they just accept it. So yeah, they're not intuitive, but they're not scared of the unknown. When the unknown appears, they just accept it almost as like a fact. Especially if it's just shown to them. This cat has a very intense stare. So definitely things where they like see them, that they're like unbelievable things, but they still see them. They accept them. They accept them as a fact. They might not participate in the mystery, but they know life is mysterious. This is going to be a good person for you if you pick this pile. Your soulmate's going to be someone where if you say any kind of weird, crazy, intuitive thing, or like share some kind of interesting insight that might seem a little bizarre, you know, the high priestess kind of is associated with the moon sometimes. So it's like, if you share anything that seems kind of like unique or different, or like sometimes intuitive insights don't make sense, this person's going to just accept them. And that's that. They're just going to accept what you said, take it as fact, and move on. Even though their intuition's not that good, they're just very calm about accepting it. They're not going to get excited about what you say. So if you're looking for kind of like a sensationalistic person who's like very excited about everything you say and do, they're not going to be like that. They're just kind of going to treat you and your intuitive insights as normal. That's the best way to put it. At the same time, this person with the guru reversed is very unconventional and does not like to be a part of systems. Very independent. You know, there's another card in this animal spirit deck called Cat Spirit. It says claim your independence. And bobcats are like cats, but a little more wild, right? They're a little untamed. So with this guru card, especially with the tradition of the guru and how it represents kind of like organizations and organizations and establishments of like a traditional sort, this person's very not traditional. This person's very like goes against the grain, right? Even though they're not quite an intuitive person, they are the type of person who is like unique or different. This is the type of person who kind of doesn't follow the rules in like a workplace or in a system or a society. This is the type of person who, how do I put this? They definitely forge their own path ahead is the best way to put it. And really a better way to put it is they're just kind of unconventional. Like some people might view them as like standing apart from like where everyone else is. So they're very unique. They're a very unique and interesting person in that way. One other thing about them with health right here is that they are very healthy. So they have like a way of eating healthy and, you know, and even like when they take care of others around them, which we see here with these two cards, which I'm going to get to in a minute. When they take care of others around them, they treat them and they want them to be healthy too. So this is the type of person who really wants people around them to have like long lives. Like longevity is really important to them, like living a long life and making sure everyone around them, their loved ones around them, are very healthy and safe in that regard. They're definitely the type of person who discovered early on, well, maybe not. They might be the type of person that just kind of like discovered at some point in their life that being healthy is a value to them. So they're definitely someone, if you're someone who likes to like eat junk food all the time, or you like to kind of like just like trash your body with like overindulging in the senses or like comfort food or anything like that, this is not going to be the right soulmate for you. You may have picked the wrong pile. This person is really someone who, but if you're looking for that, if you want to be healthy and they're not going to do it in like an invasive way either. They're not going to like it's a very nurturing and protective vibe, right? They're very protective. This person in themselves, they could be like a doctor. That's coming through for some of you. This person could be like a doctor or a physician or someone who is in the medical professions. But yeah, this person is very, how do I put this? Let's go to these cards now. With the Rose's Kiss, and you and your loved ones are safe. So first with the Rose's Kiss, I noticed some imagery, right? So this rose, right? It's so beautiful and it's a perfect rose. And if you look at these petals, I mean, you can't really see that close. But if you look at the petals, there's no like holes in them, right? There's no aphids on this plant because ladybugs, hopefully I got this right. Hopefully ladybugs eat aphids, but because I think ladybugs eat aphids and this is them, right? And the rose is kind of the love. It's going to be the love of their family, the love of their soulmate, and anyone else they love in their life. And they are constantly flying around and eating the aphids around this rose. So this rose can be so beautiful and vibrant. And it's interesting, you got the rose quartz as well with the Rose's Kiss, right? This is just someone who definitely has a very protective vibe of how they show their love to other people. You know, they're definitely kind of always protecting you from outsiders or anyone who's going to hurt you, right? You and your loved ones are safe just shows that this is basically just them wanting to protect their family in this situation. They want to protect their family and make sure that, you know, their loved ones are safe, right? They're definitely, with the Cancer vibe, they could be a Cancer. Yeah, I'm getting that kind of strongly for some of them. They could be a Cancer, actually. But it's not going to be for everyone. But yeah, they definitely want everyone to be safe, and they have that kind of circular motion around their like home territory where they kind of protect the home from like all threats on the outside, right? They definitely take very much of a I don't know if dominating is the right word, but they take a very protective attitude towards like the health of the family, the safety of the family, the livelihood, the longevity of the family. You know, they're a little bizarre. Their intuition's piss poor. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Did I swear just now? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, their intuition's not all that great. But they do accept mysteries and justice. This is another great thing. This is just the final add-on to the cake. So they're very fair, right? First of all, they're very fair. They do what's right always, all the time. They do what's right, especially what they believe is right. Like we see here that society and their traditions don't affect their values that much, but what they truly believe is right for themselves, they will always follow through with that. They will always do that. And because of that, because they're always following their own inner compass on what's right or wrong, they are in a constant state of like good karma. So they don't really have too many bad things happen to them. They always have really good karma in their life, and they don't attract a lot of negativity because they're always in a state of kind of like being just and fair to others and always doing the right thing. They're always attracting a lot of good karma in their life. So yeah, so that was if you picked the rose quartz. With that, let's wrap up the reading. So if you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. Personal readings are available. They are in the description box below. With that said, we are moving on to group 5, the last group. Okay, let me make sure. I didn't even check if these cards are on the screen. Okay. Yeah, so this is if you picked the Chrysoprase. This is group 5. Welcome to your reading. So let's start off with your person's animal spirit. So with Panther Spirit, this person is the type of person who throughout their life, they kind of have these falls from grace, right? Where they almost feel powerless, but then they become a very powerful figure. Now, for some of them, this could be something where when they were really young, they felt very powerless. And as they matured and grew older, they developed a sense of power and strength for them for the rest of their life. Or this could also be more of like a rapid cycle situation where they feel powerless at moments like, you know, for a couple years in their life, and then the next couple years they feel very powerful. The next couple years they feel very powerless. But there's definitely this oscillation, an attribute where they reclaim their power, is what Panther Spirit says, right? So what I'm seeing also with this Panther Spirit, this person might be the type that's like tall, dark, and handsome because we have the Panther Spirit here. But also this person just in general learns in life that they have to kind of like fight for themselves through life. You know, they learn that they're not going to be given anything. They have to kind of come to terms with their own selves and their own power. And once they really invest in themselves and that power within them, as through life, they've already learned this. I think before you've met them, that when they invest in themselves and like feed this power within them, they're very powerful figures indeed, and they really can get a lot done. I think that's the right thing. Yeah. What we see here with a new start is coming. I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, one thing that they've noticed with this reclaim your power, right? When they do this, they go through like some identity changes, I guess is the best way to put it. Okay, maybe identity changes is not the best way to put it, but they have to learn, they're learning to accept themselves, right? When they uncover different aspects of their personality that was unknown to them initially, but they know it now, they really have to learn how to embrace your nature and grow. This is the tree card, and in this deck, the tree card really represents like when you're a seed, you can only grow into one tree, right? If you're a walnut seed, you can only grow into a walnut tree, right? If you're an oak seed, you can only grow into an oak tree. So embrace your nature and grow just means that trees really just grow from that seed, and they have a very long life. Usually trees lives are like pretty long, but yeah, this is a person who realized that the more they embrace their nature and who they truly are, the more powerful they become. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, this kind of aspect comes in the Magician, and this is kind of the negative aspect to their life. They're not a great manifester. They feel at times they don't have the correct tools to succeed in life, right? And that's where this embracing their nature comes into play, because they felt like they really were given an unfair hand early on in life. Like they didn't really have this could have been an actual thing. Like they could come from poverty, from a very low place in society, and they had to fight their way through and up, the ranks. This could be someone who was bullied a lot as a child, and they had to learn how to be a tough, powerful person, And I think whatever handicap they had growing up, they definitely know how to they have sympathy for all those people that used to have that also have that handicap. So for example, if they were, maybe they had a lot of money, but if they were bullied when they grew up, they have a lot of sympathy for the underdog in any kind of situation. Anytime they see bullying, they're going to step up and help that person out and fight for that person. For example, if they were really poor growing up and they discovered that they wanted to get a lot of money so they weren't poor anymore, when they see a disadvantaged person, like a homeless person or something, they're really going to help them out. They're going to let them get a little give them $1 or $2 or buy them a burger or something, because they really want to they know what it's like to be in that poverty situation. So this handicap, those are just two examples, but this handicap could have been anything, right? And what they realize is that the more they embrace their own true nature, the more that they were themselves, the more that they acted and became and invested in themselves, the more that they grew, the stronger they became, and the more, just like a tree, like this tree over here bearing fruit. Oh, we'll get into that in a second. But just like a tree, they can provide shade for others, from the harsh rays of sunlight. It's kind of like a very alchemic process, right? And yeah, this could either be rapid cycling, for example, they could lose their power and then embrace their nature, and then lose their power, embrace their nature, and it could be a growth pattern like that. Or it could be they started at a really low place and they had to learn how to reclaim their power through their life, and they're kind of in a more smooth transition. Now, with the Magician card, yeah, I mentioned that they're not that good at manifesting. I think if they were better at manifesting, they wouldn't have to do too much of this reclaiming their own power. They would have felt like they had the tools at their disposal early on, and they wouldn't have had the real struggle that they needed to kind of make their way through life. Now, this person also, the negative thing about them, so they've come a long way, right? They've had their traumas, they've had their difficulties, and they've come on top. Now, the thing is they don't let go of these traumas or these difficulties or these things that held them back, because in reality, reclaiming this made them who they are. So they have a hard time letting go of past chapters in their life, and not really letting go, because they do transform. They do kind of transform into a different being. Well, not really a different being, but they transform more into themselves. They're kind of always going within to not reinvent themselves. What am I trying to say? I keep saying reinvent or different personalities, but what I'm trying to say is they really discover themselves throughout their life. They rediscover who they are as a person, and that helps them get their power back. So really, they don't want to be forced to let go of something before they're ready to let go of it. How am I hold on. Let me put this. Okay, what I'm trying to say is they know their path is their own. Just like with a tree only grows in one direction, they know they can't leave behind their roots or where they grew up from or the seed that they started as, because the whole thing made them who they are. That's where their power comes from, because they fought from the word go. They're not going to leave that behind. So Death card in reverse is someone who doesn't want to transition into a different phase of life and leave the past behind. Especially with the Tree card upright and the Death reverse, this is a person, and they might actually be a person who lives a very long time, but this is a person who's focused on longevity and life. And the Death card reversed here, I'm just seeing is they view it kind of negatively, like a part of them's dying. They can't really change who they are. This is a person who's just going to be themselves, and they can't change their behavior. They can't change who they are. And that's, I guess, is what I'm trying to say is the negative side about them. Now, interestingly enough, we have King of Wands, and if you know anything about the King of Wands, this is like the entrepreneur, this is the go-getter, this is the person who's ready, you know, they're ready to take action, they're ready to achieve things, they're always going to be, you know, ready to jump up and do something, right? So if something needs to get done or something needs to happen in life, they're the first person up on it. You know, they're the type of person who, like, in a work situation, like, you know, maybe you're trying to do your job, but they jump in and do your job for you. That's this person for sure. This also, there's going to transfer over into their home life too, right? And that's that aspect that I mentioned earlier with the example earlier with the person who starts from poverty and gets wealthy or was picked on and then protects from bullies. They're quick to jump in and save other people. That's the best way to put it. They're kind of a rescuer. They kind of like to rescue people. Bearing fruit here just shows me that by the end of their life, with this whole tree seed analogy, by the end of their life, they really have a very powerful presence, whatever that power means to them. And that's where the bearing fruit comes in, is because eventually by the end of their life, they're going to have a product to give. And that's the main thing right here, is that they're going to have a product or a philosophy or a legacy to hand down, whether that's a whole bunch of money, whether that's, you know, teaching the best way to be strong. They're really going to want to create something in the end of their life to, like, pass on the lessons that they've learned, right? And they've really had quite a unique experience, this rags to riches story, you know? And then a new start is coming. I'm happy to say that this really has nothing to do with them. This is just showing that you're going to meet this person soon. Yeah, a new start is coming with new moon. And it's interesting, we're just about to have a new moon. I don't know if I'll upload this by the new moon, but yeah, a new start is coming just means that, like, and it also kind of means that this person is not afraid, even though they start as that seed and they grow up continually in that one path, they're not afraid to, like, start a new relationship, right? I definitely feel like with the Panther spirit and stuff, that this person may have been solitary for most of their life. Like, they maybe didn't have that many relationships or that many people that they kind of had, like, casual flings with or anything like that. But yeah, a new start is coming with new moon. New moons are all about, like, beginnings and all that good stuff. So I'm definitely seeing that this person possibly could be coming into your life pretty soon. Yeah. So that's what your soulmate was like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. Also, personal readings are in the description box below if you want one of those. And yeah, that's it for the readings for today. So I'll say goodbye to you guys in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.